Hello, everyone. I'm Something Wicked. Welcome to the Wicked Workshop. This time I've got a how-to video for you on the Creation Kit. This will be my very first Creation Kit video. I'm pretty familiar with previous versions of the Creation Kit, Skyrim and Fallout 4. Um, this one's a little bit different. It's a lot more advanced. It's got a lot more powerful tools. What we're going over today specifically is Packins, and more specifically to that is how I create my Habs using the Packins. They've got auto foundations and things like that, and we're going to go over some of the details, some of the things that I've learned when making a couple mods. The important things about them, and things to focus on. Also, too, how to add them to your game. A couple different ways that you can do it. You can alter the vanilla script, or I'm sorry, not the vanilla script, but the vanilla list, and just add to it. Or you can use constructible objects. But I'll show you how to do it using a constructible object and alternate lists in order to completely avoid, altering anything vanilla, which will make it load order, friendly with, load order neutral. You can put it anywhere. So, it's adding lists and it's adding constructible objects, so things that should never be overwritten, basically. But let's get right into it. I've got the kit loaded already. What we're going to do is we're going to make this crazy thing right here. If you've seen my previous video on the mod that I made, I'm rebuilding the mod. I've been putting some of that out in the comments and things like that. But basically, guys, what you do is, or what I've got going on here is I just got an interior cell that I've called Wicked Creations. I'm using it to build my mod, and I build stuff and then I pack them from here. Okay, so I basically got all of it. I'll show you all the markers and everything. It's got all the atmospherics and all the occlusions and all that stuff in there as well. So we're just going to go right over the top of it, make sure that your markers are showing so that everything gets selected. Okay. Now, the easiest way to do it, honestly, is to either choose one of the previous ones, you know what I mean? Because this is where you're going to get your information from. Um, yeah, we'll just go with, no, we won't go with this one. I'll go with one of the previous ones because it's easier to name that way. Okay. Where we at? We're over here anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do is I've already got one of the garages made, and I made it previously. So we're just going to grab this one, and we're going to copy the name. That's all we're doing. Okay. Okay, we're going to right click and we're going to create packin. It's going to give us a new form editor ID. I'm going to hit Control V because I've already copied that name, but we're going to change it. It's not an ops, it's not a science one. It's going to be a Hydra one because it's got the different class floors and all that stuff. Okay, so we're going to hit OK. Okay, that's going to bring us up our packin screen. This is where I was talking about before, where we want the other previous one because we're going to copy the information. Okay, that's how I do it anyway. Okay, I want to file it. This is where it's going to determine where it's filed over here in the item window or in the object window. It's where it's going to go. And then, of course, we're calling it, it's a version of this, but it's not the science one. So give me just 1 second. Let me alter this. Hydroponic. Okay. And it's going to be an instanced. Okay. And like I said, the easiest way that I found is to come over here, just select all these, holding Control, okay, and select all of them. You can copy every single one of them, paste them in. Come over here. This time you can copy the stack, okay. Paste. It's going to be a grouped workshop object, okay. Now, basically, the only thing that we need from this other window is this information right here. Okay, we need to copy this outpost snap OPI and close to origin. Okay, so type in outpost snap OPI. Okay, we want to scroll down to select enclosed hab origin, and then this one right here is going to be the foundation hab, OP foundation hab right there. Okay, so at this point, because I don't want to change anything from here, I'm just going to cancel that. Okay, now what you could do is you could just let the game do it. You could hit OK and just hope for the best, right? But that's not what we're going to do. Okay, we can edit in the render window so that we pull it up. And we need to make sure that a couple things are set that I have found that will make the odds of this thing working out so much better. Okay, first thing we're going to do is come down to the cell view, and this, if you're not too familiar, lists every object that's in the cell view. Okay, and what we're looking for is we're looking for a couple dummy objects. We're looking for the outpost group pack-in dummy and the prefab pack-in pivot dummy. Now these are going to control where the foundation and where the pivot of this pack-in are created and where they basically spawn in. Okay, if they're not accurate, if it's not right, it won't load correctly. It'll load it sunk in the ground, or it just won't even connect at all, and it'll just not load, I've found. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these. I'm going to hit right click on it and come edit. I want to come over to this 3D data tab and make sure that all of them are all zeros. Okay, we're working off of zeros, especially for this pivot dummy because we're going to set our snap to that as well. Okay, but we're going to go over to the group pivot dummy, make sure that it's rocking zeros as well. It is. Okay, so that looks good for that end. Okay, we're going to come back to our object window. I'm going to hit M for markers. Okay, hit T for top. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select every single thing in here, guys. Okay, I digress. We need to come back over here to our Packin pivot dummy. I'm going to double click on it, hit M so that I can see it. Okay, that's what it looks like right there with that little arrow deal. Okay, and I need to set the snap point to it. So I'm going to hit Alt and Q. See how it changes my cursor to that little uh, crosshair deal. Okay, I'm going to select on that so that I've selected that. Okay, so I've set my snap to that prefab Packin pivot dummy. Okay, that's what's the important part of it because it all needs to correlate to that. Okay, so I'm going to hit T to get a top view. Zoom out, and then again, I'm going to select absolutely everything, okay? But then I'm going to come back down here inside my cell view, and I'm going to deselect by holding Control, the Outpost Packin dummy, and the Packin pivot dummy. So I don't want those selected. I want to deselect those, okay? Now, I'm going to hit M to hide my markers again, okay? Make sure I'm on my object view. Now, it's important that the last object that you select is the object that's going to move the whole thing. So I'm going to hit Control again, okay? See where my cursor is? And I'm going to select this, this mid double here at the top. Okay, I'm going to deselect it and then I'm going to select it again. So that's the last object that I created. That's going to go according to our referenced snap from our Packin pivot dummy, okay? Now, if you look at these lines right here, you've got this solid yellow line, a solid yellow line right there, and that correlates to the position of, the X, Y, Z, position of our pack-in, okay? Now, if I wanted it to be in the center, what I would do is I would not hit X, okay? Hit C or hold C, and that's going to make sure that I'm going, along the Y plane, and it's going to grab everything and it's going to move it all. And all I have to do is just line it up to the center. See how that right there. That's if I want my pack-in and my pivot to be in the center. If I wanted it to be back over, you know, I wanted it to be back over closer to here. Sometimes it's easier, to get things on things I've found actually. But what we're going to do is we're going to just move it over here to the center and see how this bottom area is sunk right here. Okay. What we need to do is we need to grab this and we need to pull it up. There we go. See that way? That's basically the ground level. If we zoom in here, we coming down, there's our plane, there's our ground level, there's everything inside there. Okay. So there we go. Okay. I'm going to grab my window. I didn't close it. I kept my pack-in window. Remember, all I hit was edit and render window. Okay, now that I've made all of my changes and everything is good according to these two items right here, it's centered on that, that's where I'm going to hit OK. Okay, this is telling me that it's changing the form because I've got copied lights. Okay, and then I'm going to save. Okay, so I've created this object and it's going to be buildable over here. OPH 001. Okay. Okay, so we come back. This is where we pulled it from, if you remember. It's going to be way over here. Okay, and there is our new pack-in. Okay, set the snap to that. And there we go. Okay, almost exactly like that. Okay, and it's called OPH Hab Trip Medium Garage. Come back over to here to our buildable. Must not have filed it there. There it is right there. Okay, I filed it in the wrong spot. Let's fix that real quick. Come back over here, open up this one. I'm going to grab this file information, copy it, come back down, come back over to my buildables. There it is. Oh yeah, because we copied from the other one. Okay, hydroponic cab, there it was. So just confused for that second there. Okay, come back over here. Now it should be back. Yep, trip garage. There it is. There's our beast. Okay. Now what I've got going on is we're going to come up to our form lists. Okay, and the vanilla ones are called Outpost Structure Science List, for example. So that one's mine. Science Hab. So for example, you see the regular 4-wall, whatever like that. Okay. What I've done is you have to create your own form list. I've basically named it very similar, but wicked so that it's mine. Okay. And I've created my own. Okay. I've got a hydroponic list as well that for just right now, I'll show you how to add it to a list. Okay. Come over here. So type in Packin. Okay. And we called it Hab Trip. And it's the OPH version of it. So it's going to add that Outpost. Okay. That's the name of our garage. We're going to come over and save. Okay. Now, in order to get this hydroponic list, however, added to the game, what we have to do is we have to come up to our constructible objects. Okay. And the easiest way that I found is just like, for example, ops means science. Okay. So you're going to grab one of these. We'll just go H because I used that already. Okay. H. So for example, I've got my 4-wall hab. Just duplicate one of these. Okay. You're going to open it up. And what I've done is I have duplicated it already. And I think I should have called it OPH. Yeah, okay, so I created my own list. And what you're going to do is instead of a created object, you're going to select a list so that it creates a list and then make sure that it's got this right here checked. List contains variants, okay? So instead of just creating that object, it creates the list for you in the game, okay? And then all you have to do is reference it to that created list and then populate your list with all of your items. Okay, once that's done, okay, it's saved. Okay, we're going to add that in. I hope that works. I really do. That's awesome. Okay, but we're going to make sure that it's saved and we're going to come back in. Okay, here we are. Just loaded back in game. Okay. We're at Tolman 2, just right outside Lendinian. Nice, charming little spot. Okay, and here we go, guys. We just created. It's in my hydroponic list. That's I forgot to change that one. Okay, but as you can see, it's in there. It connects to all of the other ones just fine. And as you can see, I've got some craziness going on in here. Actually, yeah, we don't want to connect to that one. But what we want to do is we want to show you the inside of it. This will be a sneak peek to the upcoming mod. Okay, where are we at? Did I just go on the other side of it? Yeah, I did. Okay. And we just made this one. But haven't nav meshed it or anything yet. But as you can see, all the lights, everything in it work. Connect one of the habs to the back. It's got staircases. Now this is a triple story. Here we go. Okay, and I'll tell you something right now, everyone. If you're going to download this mod and you're going to use it, it will destroy your build limit. So what you have to do is, well, then I'll show you. A little exploit that I found. I think I found it online or something maybe. Okay, you're going to select your little beacon in here, and I have a bat command that I'll explain it to you once I run it, okay, because it'll show it. But you change the active value of this little of the activator, and what it does is it says it types in get AV space 399, okay, and it'll show currently what I've got. It's almost maxed out, okay, and then it says force AV, so then it types in force AV 399 to 0, okay, and levels, and it wipes it out. So now I've got no build limit. Okay, and that stays throughout the entire save. If it does start building again, you can just wipe it out again. Okay, but there it is, guys. That's creating a pack-in. Like I said, the most important parts are those pivot dummies. You know, they're the ones that are going to create your foundation or not. They're the ones that are going to determine where your pivot and everything is at or where it's not. So make sure that those are correct. Make sure that you set your snap to that uh, pivot dummy, and then move everything else according to it. You know, and deselect both of the pivots when you go to move it. Otherwise, it just moves everything with it. So um, that's about it. That's about all that I've got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of here real quick. And if there's anything that that you could think of maybe that's important to add to it, or just please let me know in the comments. If you like the video, please hit that like and subscribe. Keeps me going, guys. But other than that, that's all that I got for you. Wicked out.